Hello everyone, welcome to Redmen TV. We are on the countdown to kick-off Liverpool Man City Champions League quarter-finals. That expression right there. We thought what we'd do is we have a little bit of a chat around it, see if we can settle the nerves, if that's possible.
With water?
With water, yeah. And then we're going to move on to the hard stuff as the day progresses. But yeah,
likely straight vodka is going to be the only thing that settles them.
I mean, that's not straight vodka. Pure Bacardi. Ross has put together a wonderful array of tweets on the Redmen TV account, just giving us a little bit of an insight into what we know about this game so far. We don't know how the game's going to go. We don't know what the score's going to be. We just don't know. But there are things that we do know. So let's have a little bit of a look through them and see how we feel. Yeah. So we're going to kick it off. Team news-wise, Chris has done the start 11 prediction show. Jurgen Klopp did his press conference yesterday. I mean, Chris, there's a whole host of players not available for
this game. It's all happened at the wrong time, really, Paul, hasn't it? You know, Joel Matip obviously goes down for the season yesterday, doesn't he? Well, I suppose it was actually technically Crystal Palace, but it comes out yesterday. Liverpool make a statement that he's out for the season. Ragnar Klavan's out. We have no idea what he's out with, but Matip's is a thigh injury. Adam Lallana is out, but will be back before the end of the season, according to Klopp, which I think is quite surprising, Paul, considering he said before he came back this time, we rushed him back last time.
I think
it's probably that he's done, isn't it?
It's more in hope than an expectation, I think, in that one, yeah.
Chan we knew was very, very close.
Yeah. I think he said he was going to be, he would be close for this game, didn't he? Like, so he was going to be touch and go.
We're talking about starting and stuff, but then about an hour after the press conference, it came out from Liverpool again that he was out, and you're like, I'm a little bit confused. I wonder if this is a bit of smoke and mirrors, and Chan could probably start on the bench if he is that close, because I think it was about 4:30, 5 o'clock yesterday when he was supposed to be meeting the physio and having another once over, and that article came out just before he was supposed to meet the physio, so I'm not 100% sure. Joe Gomez, we know, is out for probably another between 2 and 3 weeks. And Conor Masterson came out last night, the Irish lad, under 23s, played 9 times for the under 23s so far this season. It looks like he's going to be in the matchday squad. 19 years old, centre-back, 10 appearances for the under 23s, 7 in the youth league for the under 19s. 6 is that he can play at the back, and obviously he's a ball-playing centre-half. And anyone who'll know who watched the starting 11 prediction show yesterday, I don't really know much about him. I've not seen him play. No. I've just heard good things about him.
No, we know he's been on the bench before for Liverpool, hasn't he, when he was a kid. But other than that, very little seen of him. And they seem to rate him quite highly. My concern with that is that, look, fine, great, you know, we have to make use of what we've got, sure, that we've not seen more of him in and around. Now, it's not like we're genuinely short of centre-halves, particularly since Van Dijk's coming, of course, but some things happen, you know. I remember a few seasons ago, a number of seasons ago now, when we had that defensive crisis at the start of the season and Danny Ayala started for us. Sometimes these things can be the making of a player, and sometimes they can be the breaking, and other times they can have zero impact whatsoever. Very little chance of him getting involved. But you know, Klopp made the joke in the press conference, didn't he, about is there any centre halves in the room, because you know, he's open for negotiations and stuff. So yeah, not a great situation for Liverpool to be in, but potentially a great situation for Conor Masterson, because very, very highly regarded, apparently, by the youth setup. So,
but not only Conor Masterson,
an option for
not
him.
Only Conor Masterson, Paul. There's an opportunity for the first team players, and that's what you know. Obviously, we know that Lovren is going to step into Phil Matip's shoes, and it could have been that it was going to be Lovren starting anyway. Yeah. It's now his to own between now and the end of the season, barring injuries, and he's got to go out there and he's got to fight for that shirt for next season and this season. You've got players like Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who will be getting probably more game time as well because of Emre's injury, Lallana's injury. You want those 4 midfielders now fighting for that first team spot, and hopefully it can spur on the lads and we can stop focusing on the negative side of the injuries. But there's positives, and all right, you might be clutching a little bit, but these lads have got something to play for now, and that's important if you're a footballer. Yeah,
absolutely. It's an interesting set of circumstances. So I did the press box on LFC TV yesterday, and it was proposed by Dave Anderson of the Mirror that Milner will play right back for us in this game. Just because of the midfield injuries, I can't see a situation, not in this game certainly, where, because it's all well and good, I've got no problem with Milner playing right back in a big game because I think he's got the experience, but we need midfield options. Our strength this season has come from rotating the midfield. We've got 3 positions and we've got 4 guys who can play in those positions at the moment. So I don't know whether Milner will necessarily start, but I would be shocked to see us go with that unless we went with something really outside the box and threw a 3 at the back kind of situation.
We've not got the centre backs for that.
Well, no. My only thinking on that is that the only time I think we've started a 3 at the back this season. We started it with Wijnaldum and was it Milner?
Chan, maybe.
Chan. Sorry, yeah, in the back 3 there. So, it would be an outside of the box shout, certainly. The good news for regards to City and what we do know is that Sergio Aguero's not travelled. I mean, to be fair, if he wanted to travel now, he could. It's not far away. Look, on the surface, that's good because Sergio Aguero has a very good track record of scoring against us.
Yeah, but Jesus.
We saw he was fantastic in the Etihad game in the league this season, and that was the first time we've come up against them. So, here's the thing: Aguero's their top goal scorer, but Jesus is the man who is the preferred choice of Guardiola, so it doesn't make me feel particularly...
No, that's it. I mean, they've essentially got 2 first-teamers there and one of them's not playing.
Yeah.
And now he is, in Jesus and stuff. And he's going to cause us troubles, of course he is. I think the big news around City is that who's going to start left-back? They've got 4 options, really, at left-back, and none of them are a left-back now. Is it going to be Delph? Is it going to be maybe Laporte or something like that? Now, that's probably where we're looking to try and get a little bit of success out of this game, and obviously that left back you would suspect would come up most likely against Mo Salah.
Yeah, it's interesting because, as I was saying, Laporte is likely to be the option if Delph is another doubt, isn't he? It's weird because we've got a terrible track record of coming up against makeshift fullbacks and them doing all right. I don't know who I'd rather come up against, whether I'd rather us come up against a centre-half who is not great at doing what is required of him in the attacking sense of the role, or do you want to come up against a right-footed, mobile centre-mid playing in there, knowing that Mo Salah's likely to cut in and whatever, that might play into his hands a little bit.
You're right to consider both options, I suppose, because Manchester City like to play it out from the back. Having a midfielder there is better for them to continue the way that they play and to dominate possession and stuff like that. But equally, if they play a midfielder there, I'd suspect that Salah will be able to get them out of position and find a little bit of room to maybe make something special happen.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I was looking into at the way they lined up, and a lot of people saying Laporte played left back against Everton. I've seen it. Formations are open to interpretation. Any City fans watching, do let us know whether it was left back or was he left of a back 3, because that kind of makes a little bit more sense in that regard. The TLS app, which we've got, uses add Walker as a right wing back, Sané more wide left, with Laporte tucking in as a left of a 3, which can easily, as we know, can become a back 4 if you drop Walker in there. So again, it's an interesting one. If they were to go with a back 3 against us, would that make you feel better, worse?
Probably
hungry, tired.
Definitely hungry. Horny, yeah, why not? Whenever Salah's on the pitch, I'm a little bit horny. I always like Liverpool against back 3s. I think, the 3 of our forwards playing against a back 3, it does seem to suit us. Early on in the season, we exploited that a lot, and we've not really seen a lot of teams go up against us with 3 at the back.
It started off as the formation in vogue, didn't it? Yeah. Because of last season, because of Chelsea, and a lot of teams seem to have ditched it as the season's gone on.
Yeah, I think Arsenal went against us with a back 3 or something, didn't they? Maybe in that 4-0, and we tore them to shreds. So I'd like to see us go up against Man City in a 3 at the back, because I think that is their weakness. And when I say it's their weakness, they're not weak at the back. Yeah. They're not terrible at defending, but the midfield and the attack is so much better that by proxy, it's a weakness.
Yeah, absolutely. It's mad how all the articles I've seen in the build to this are all such and such says, here's Liverpool's weakness. I've seen 14 different pundits giving their weakness, and have a guess, it's all the defence. We've done a lot of this on the podcast this week, so if you want more content to fill your day between now and kick-off, go and watch the podcast on YouTube, of course. But I think it's being understated that you're right, though. They are not weak, but it is their weakness. But Pep said it himself in his press conference. He said Liverpool are a team that are there to exploit the stuff that we don't do. But he basically comes out and says, as we know, because it's how Pep does things, attack is their best form of defence. They just trust their team to outscore the opposition. But that's why I think everyone's so excited about this, because it's got that thing of that's how that game was won at Anfield last time, is we got in, we caused them problems, but we got a few goals up. So that, yes, we capitulated, and yes, they ended up getting joy toward the back end of the game, but we made it not matter because we had such a comfortable cushion.
And that's what you want. That's kind of what you want to see again. And it's two managers who've got ideals, who are going head-to-head, who aren't going to back down on those ideals. I think for the most part, we know how both teams are going to play, and it's why it's so exciting for the neutral fans. You know, I was talking to Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV yesterday, and he was incredibly excited for this game of football because he knows that it ain't going to finish 0-0. It's just not going to finish 0-0. There are going to be goals in this game, and probably goals for both sides, and it's why I'm so nervous, because even on your best day, you still might not win against Manchester City. And flip side, they could be on their best day and they might not win against Liverpool.
It's weird. It's why I'm not nervous about the game. That exact logic is why I've got no nerves about this game at all. Like, I'm dead excited, and I just can't wait to experience it. For me, it's like Crimbo. I'm excited because what an occasion to be a part of. I'm sure it'll change a little bit as we get.
Nothing that bad ever happens at Christmas, mate.
No, obviously not. But the thing about it is, like, what you're saying there is that because they can beat us and because we can beat them, I'm feeling a bit laissez-faire about the whole thing. Like, I'm just excited for the spectacle for us being there, because we've got as good a chance as any team of beating them, which bodes really well. The only thing that made me a little nervous was the results last night favoured the away teams heavily, and there was a little moment of that where you could. This is the thing, you could see what happened to Juventus happening just as easy to us. But again, on the flip side, as you kept saying, we've already seen that we can blow them away too, given the opportunity. So it's just going to be one of them mad ones.
We scored about 3 goals in 10 minutes against them last time out, and it was probably the best 10 minutes of the season for Liverpool, wasn't it? And I watched that game back probably twice since then, and we did the stats and tactics show on it on the website and stuff, and it was some of the best 10 minutes of football I've ever seen, not just from an attacking sense, but the way that we defended them.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Absolutely. Well, good to know, according to Ross, who's compiled this for us, we haven't lost a home match in European competition since October 2014.
Remember the one?
The what?
Remember the game?
No.
Madrid. 3-0.
Was that the one? Fuck.
Ronaldo.
In 14 European games at Anfield, Klopp has won 5 matches against Guardiola, more than any other manager, excluding shootouts, because I think it's 6-5, isn't it? That's the common knowledge on it anyway. Not so good to know. Leroy Sané scored 3 goals in his 2 appearances against Liverpool. Shut up, Ross. City in the Champions League, they made the semi-finals in 15-16, which but also they made their last 16 the 2 seasons either side of that. They haven't won the Champions League, as we know. This is the big thing for me, Chris, is that, look...
Why did they have 3 stars on their old badge then?
For aesthetics.
That's literally it. A continental feel was the apparent reasoning. They got rid of it.
Because it's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. Put it on there when you've got it. Or put it on if you've won 30 league titles or something like, but it's... Yeah, I wasn't going to bring up there was no in-joke behind that, Chris. What's the Christmas special? This is the thing, and look, this is what we're holding hope on. It was a conversation I was having with people yesterday. Is that when we went into the Chelsea game in 04-05, Liverpool was so far removed from winning the European Cup. At that point, we're a lot closer to the last time we won the European Cup than we were then. And people said just because Liverpool have won stuff in the past makes no odds, it won't have an impact. And it went on and it did. And the atmospheres that we generated at Anfield around those Chelsea semi-finals for a number of years was some of the best atmospheres that English football has ever seen. So this is the thing going into it. This is what we have to hold hope, and it is hope, but Liverpool do have a fantastic track record in this regard. The fact that we do have a European pedigree as a football club and as a fan base, it's not.
You kind
I
of
would
remind
expect us to be great tonight.
Absolutely. And you kind of remind me of what Chiellini said after Juventus got through against Tottenham. It was the European history and stuff that got them through that game. Well, I tell you what, last night they came up against a team with more European history than anybody, and they had the flip reverse happen to them. But Liverpool, although this side don't know how to do this, there's something special about Liverpool on European evenings, and that might just give us the edge tonight.
The thing is as well, you know, albeit we didn't go on and win the Europa League, but we did have some of those big nights along the way. The Dortmund, the Villarreal, Manchester United along the way. They're fresh in the minds of a lot of the people, not just in the team, but around the squad and the management as well, and the fan base. So we do have, I'd like to think that tournament whetted our appetite for this a bit. Look, I go back to it, the Hoffenheim game at Anfield, that atmosphere was one of the best atmospheres I've experienced, and that was a playoff round in the Champions League, and we treated that with the proper
like respect. Tonight is a playoff round, isn't it, ultimately, you know, and that's what we did at Hoffenheim, and the fans all turned up and the fans all give their all. Exactly what's going to happen tonight, 5:30 outside the Incarry pub. There is going to be the most legal welcoming of the coach you've ever seen. It's going to be incredible.
It's funny because, you know, it's having to be played down a little bit, but look, we're going to be there. I've heard a lot of people saying that like it won't have an impact on Man City, and people trying to find it. A lot of Man City fans trying to dig up like examples of when we've tried to do stuff and things have gone wrong off the back of it. Here's the thing: Liverpool greeting the coach is not the thing that wins the game for Liverpool in any way, shape or form. It's about us. It's about us first and foremost. It's about lubricating. It's about getting our voices warmed up. It's about getting there. It's about getting happy. It's about getting buzzing. It's about getting up for the game. And as I've always said, if there's a percentage of a chance that it increases what we do, then just have a little sample of this. I hope we've got the volume turned on this. We've not prepped that in any way, shape or form. But the point is that when we did this in 13... If you've been there before, the problem we had in 13-14 was it was great and they were really spontaneous at the time. What you had was a lot of people who ended up coming down to treat it as like a spectator experience. It's not. If you're going to go down there, don't go down there to watch people cheer. Go down there to cheer and get involved. Go down and make noise. Just clap your hands. Do whatever you can. You don't need to climb on walls. You don't need to bring flags or whatever. If you want to and you're on the fence about whether you should do it, do it. You know what, do it. Because if it adds a fraction of a percentage, it's totally worth your while doing it. But look, Chris, this is what this is about. It's a celebration of Liverpool. It's a celebration of Liverpool fandom, and it's one of the things that I love about the way we do things. So let's go down there. Let's enjoy it. And if we add something to the team.
Absolutely, and listen, it's showing you respect for what this team has done so far to get this far in the competition. You know, obviously when we were fighting for the title in 13-14, it was a celebration of that team and the season that they'd had, and we wanted to spur them on to a little bit more, and it never happened, but we enjoyed ourselves. We still talk about it because it was a great experience for us as fans to be a part of, and that's what we all get the chance to be tonight. We hopefully get the chance to be part of this club's history, and can you ask for anything more? No. I don't think so.
No, absolutely. So listen, if you think Liverpool can do it tonight, or in fact just do it over both legs, most importantly, drop a like on this video right now. Check out the podcast if you need more. Check out the build-up show. Check out the opposition build-up and preview. Check out everything. Go to the redmentv.com. Sign up. Watch all the content. There's going to be an amazing final word show coming tomorrow when Liverpool have got one foot in the semi-finals. Yes, let's be positive. Let's be upbeat. And let's scream our boys over the line at Anfield tonight.